didn't record. So
now we can start over. All right, so let's repeat what you said. All right, as I understand what you said about the storyline, which was the first paragraph of the summary of the talking sessions that I sent last week. That number one, you do best when you hear someone speaking rather than you reading something. And that your idea was that I could be a narrator for some parts of the story. And that I should set up a narrative from which I would read, that you would edit, and that would form the basis for part of this production, right?
Yes.
So what I need to do then is to, I guess, record them.
Read it again.
Right now. Okay, here's what I'll read it right now. As soon as the dog quits. Okay.
So read it.
The key storyline is that the stroke comes first. Here is a person who doesn't even know himself, and even worse, others don't know how to relate to him because he can't talk. So right away, there's a conflict out of the chute. Then after that, it's a process of more than 2 years that I discovered my new brain was created by the stroke. Then I flash back to my memories throughout my life. Some of them are very relatable because we've all had good times and bad times. Other times, when it has come together, it's like a concert, and maybe even more than one.
Yes. Good. Now I have that recording. I did gestures while you were narrating. And then we might go back and say, oh, but you left out that it really continues to happen, and it's exponential because
What is exponential?
that discovery of who I am
is exponential.
That, yeah, it works that way. That's how the brain works. And it's working in me, and I'm pretty glad of that, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Too bad all this was lost because I wasn't recording.
You were talking about Paul, and you were talking about how you're visiting with Paul. Yes, and so you've got that written down, so you know that part, yeah. Right? And it's about identities, and identities being at the top, and then there's all these connections with other identities, and, you know, family, friends, etc. You also talked about Paul's visit last Wednesday, and how he got engaged with the chess game. So there was something that you could interact with that didn't require speech. And you were thrilled because you weren't, I don't know if you were aware that Paul played chess or not, but he saw the chessboard and you realized that he had an interest in it and in fact could play it, right?
Yes.
So there's the other elements that you said about Paul is that he's able to engage all these people in the 5 years since his stroke. And you said you can't understand how he did it, but here's a person who has severe aphasia, and yet he's managed to be a very popular person in spite of it, right? Or maybe because of it. And you're saying that some people don't get it and other people do get it about him. And you might want to expound. Did that summarize what we talked about earlier?
Yeah. And then Jasmine singing.
Jasmine will be singing. The songs that you identified so far are the Beatles songs, Let It Be and Get Back, the Moonlight Sonata you mentioned. And then The Wayward Wind, and then The End by the Doors. Humor in the story, which you're developing a lot, right, already. And the music is important too.
Ah.
And it's just a matter, once we get the, as I said, the framework for this, then everything else flows, because I have a lot of these details that have come out that will fill in the holes. But the framework is what we have to start. Yeah. All right.
May I say, Buzz, Judy speaks what you mean a lot better than you do.